Hi, my name is Diana and I'm a graphic designer. Today we're breaking down the costume of Homelander from the boys serial, a character who looks like the perfect all-American hero on the surface, but whose outfit reveals something much plainer underneath. So, the video has its own structure. First, who Homelander is in a serial. Second, the first impression of the suit and what it says about words. Third, the color palettes. Fourth, the silhouette and shape. And next, texture, material, details, and accessories. When historical accuracy and stylization finally, what would suit seasonable change mean? And after all, my conclusion. So, he is pure folly, I would to say, but Homelander is introduced as the ultimate American superhero, a bright, smiling, camera-ready symbol of hope, but the show gradually reveals the irony is the furthest thing from a hero thing. Underneath the polished surface lies a man with an unfeelable emotional weight. His entire personality is built on the need to be adored, to be noticed every fucking second, so feels superior. Without constant attention, he becomes unstable, fragile, and aggressive. He's physiologically frozen at the stage of hard child who never learned emotional regulation. His powers only amplify the problem. He's a fragile egg contained in an indestructible body, and because he cannot tolerate criticism of evil, he responds to any threat to his image with hostility or violence. The tragedy of Homelander is not that he's an evil by nature, but he never developed the true inner self. He was raised as a corporate experiment, depraved in affection, and taught that his worth equals his usefulness and popularity. Everything he is today is a desperate attempt to fill that early emptiness. So, the second one, first impressions. What the costume communicates without words. Before Homelander says a single line, his suit tells us a story. It's designed to reassure, to project stability, patriotism, and moral clarity. It looks clean, bright, perfectly symmetrical, almost too perfect, like a toy in action figure, and that artificial perfection is the point. The costume functions like a billboard, selling the idea on an idolized hero rather than representing the man underneath. What's even more revealing is that Homelander almost never takes the suit off. He wears it at home, in intimate conversations, during meals, even in moments when other characters would be vulnerable or relaxed. This tells us that the person of Homelander isn't the role he plays. It has swallowed him whole. The suit becomes his emotional armor, a substitute for identity. Without it, he would have to face the terrifying truth that he doesn't know who he is. So, the third one, color palettes. The color palette is patriotic on the surface. Red, navy blue, and gold, and a little white. By the way, these colors are used to reveal something very different. The nether is deep and saturated, giving him a stable, commanding presence as for the hero and embodiment of national authority. Red is bold and impressive, symbolized power but also danger. The gold essence is especially important. We don't read as humble and humble, we read as self-glorifying, shiny, polished, almost gaudy. Together, the corals mimic our aesthetic consumer packaging and corporate advertising. They create the illusion of purity and heroism while simultaneously highlighting how manufactured and synthetic his image is. It's patriotism not as devotion, but as a brand strategy. The next part, silhouette and shapes. One of the most revealing aspects of Homelander's costume is the silhouette. From season to season, the musculature built into the suit grows bigger, more exaggerated, almost cartoonishly inflated. It is especially interesting, became Anthony Starr. Like an actor, is not nearly as bulky. The costume doesn't fit his natural body, it reshapes it, distorts it, and encourages it. And that's symbolic. Homelander is not strong because of his muscles. His power isn't physical, it's inherent. So exaggerated muscles don't serve him. They serve the audition's expectation of what a hero should look like, and it's idolized, exaggerated masculinity designed to disguise emotional weakness. The broader the chest, the shoulders become the more fragile he actually is only inside. So, the fourth part: texture, materials, details, accessories. A textured Homelander suit are smooth, glossy, and synthetic. The material reflects light in the way it makes the suit look almost plastic-like a mass-produced collective figurine. Nothing in the fabric moves naturally. It doesn't bend, wrinkle, or soften, just like Homelander himself, who refused to bend emotionally or feel softness. The golden eagle shoulders pieces are some of the strongest metaphors, I think. They are oversized, aggressive, almost militaristic. They represent dominance rather than protection. An eagle, not as a symbol of freedom, but a predator waiting from both and watching from above. Even a cape is stiff rather than floven. It behaves less like fabric and more like a ceremonial banner. Everything about the design is rigid, controlled, artificial, mirroring his tightly configured public persona that hides every trace of vulnerability. The next one: historical accuracy and stylization. Homelander's costume is intentionally disconnected from any realistic military or historical superhero tradition. It's styled after idealized propaganda imaginary, the kind of hyper-patriotic visuals designed to simplify complex ideas into emotional triggers. In the world of the boys, where superheroes are products, these costumes works like corporate iconography. It's not meant to be accurate, it's meant to be unmistakable. The stylization exaggerated. American culture symbol is to the point of parody. The message is clear. This isn't a uniform worn by a protector. It is a costume worn by a brand ambassador, manufactured for maximum emotional effect. How the costume evolves across seasons and what it reveals. One of the most fascinating aspects of Homelander's suit is how subtly, yet meaningfully, it changes all the seasons. While the overall design stays the same, its proportions and energy shift as his physiological state deteriorates. In the early seasons, the suit is crisp, polished, pristine, almost pristine. As time goes on, the musculature becomes more inflated, the color slightly sharper, and got more prominent. The suit looks increasingly like a caricature of heroism, mirroring his growing detachment from reality and moral boundaries. Season 2, when Stormfront appears, marks a major turning point. Homelander becomes obsessed with public approval, and his suit starts to feel less like love and more like armor against humiliation. His identity depends entirely on applause and ratings, and any decline in whose numbers sends him into panic. So fucking pathetic. By season 4, something shifts. He begins caring less about admiration and more about fear. His confidence grows louder, but so does his instability. His costume reflects it. More rigidity, more severity, more visual dominance. The man inside the suit unravels. Yet the suit tries harder than ever to project invisibility. And when comes one of the most sad moments of all, when Homelander quietly collects his gray hairs. It's heartbreaking because it exposes his deepest fear. If he can age, he can fail. If he can fail, he's not a god. If he's not a god, he's just another human and everything is disparate. So he hides every side of humanity with ever greater determination. Yes, it's almost final. Final conclusion. In the end, Holland's costume is a physiological portrait. It's not designed to protect him from physical harm. Nothing can harm him physically. It's designed to protect him from emotional exposure. Every fiber of his suit is a denial of vulnerability. It is disguisement to convince the world and himself that he's perfect, superior, untouchable. The tragedy is that beneath the cape and the gold and the patriotic colors there is no stable identity, only frightened child desperately clinging to an image of invisibility. As the seasons progress, the costume becomes not just a facade, but a person. The more monstrous he becomes, the more heroic the suit tries to appear, and the deeper the contrast grows between the image and reality. And yeah, I finally end this video, so thank you for watching. And I have to mention one thing. This video is made just for fun and just to practice my English, so if you notice any mistakes in my speech, in my knowledge, Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, I would really appreciate it. And let me know which characters' costumes you would like me explore next. I want to explore into River Vampire. So, for now, just bye.